Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I think it's time we talked about a topic I've been putting off for no other reason than I just haven't had time. We gotta talk about the fact that we did get rid of both of our cars to get different cars and the actual reasons behind it, and also to address all of these lovely comments we got. I'm not gonna lie, I actually laughed hysterically. It was actually the bright part of most of my day is looking at what these people thought based off of the limited information they got from our channel. But the reality is, yes, we did move on from our Tesla Model 3 and Tesla Model Y. My wife ended up going with a Ford Mustang Mach-E, and I went with a BMW X5 Hybrid. There was lots of reasons behind this. People are like, oh, snowflake, you're soft. No, in fact, what really pushed me over the edge was the financial implications. But we'll just discuss all that here in a little bit. But I want to talk about the fact I've had now my car for 2,000 miles, and I really think I made the right choice and the right decision, both from fiscally, for what it's doing for us currently, and what we hope to do with it in the future. But here's the thing, do I miss my Model Y? Absolutely, I love that car. That car was great. The electric charging infrastructure for road trips is what really sold me on it, and the reason that we had it, and the reason that I really liked it. But having this new BMW X5, although a 2018, has really reminded me of the benefits of having a gas car or fuel car. But don't get me wrong, I'm still an electric guy through and through. This is really kind of a placeholder, which is why I went with the hybrid. Let me go into a little bit more detail here. Let's do a quick recap. So about 7 months ago, when they announced the Rivian R2, I got super excited. Because if you've been watching our channel for quite a while, you know that as far as EV goes, I thought the Rivian R1 was the absolute best SUV electric vehicle that was in the market. It had all the luxurious features. It was really designed to be a car for the family, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something larger, I wanted something bigger, because the Model Y was great, but we were definitely growing out of it as a family. But I didn't want that price tag. I mean, $90,000+ for the model we want. That was literally both of our Teslas put together and then some. So it just didn't make any sense. But when they announced that R2 being a mid-size SUV, being the exact size I wanted, and being the price point, that basically the same price point we paid with the Model Y, to me it was kind of a no-brainer. And the fact they're going to be using the North American Charging Standard plug just like the Tesla meant we can use it on road trips. So I put down my deposit and reserved it, knowing that I had a lot of equity in my Model Y, so when the time came in 2026 to trade it in, I wasn't going to be upside down, and I was going to be able to basically get the Rivian for what I was paying for my Model Y. To me, it was just a no-brainer decision, because as a Tesla fan, because going back, I make no secrets, this channel used to be called Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. I thought Tesla was the most innovative product. I think they were ahead of the time, and they were really designing things with someone who enjoys minimalistic design and just efficiency in mind. And also throwing in some luxury in there, but not as much luxury as I find with my car that's 7 years older than my Model Y. But I digress. So Tesla to me was just ahead of the game. But here's what really led to me wanting to move on from it. Because yes, outside of the fact I think R2 and just Rivian overall met all of our hopes, people had to really accept the fact that a lot of companies, be it existing or startups, are really catching up, and if not surpassing Tesla at this point. To me, the only benefit to still owning a Tesla is that charging infrastructure. Because everybody going with those, just standard CCS connections, they're not as prevalent, they're not as readily available, and they're just a little clunky and not as easy to use. Whereas Tesla is so streamlined, makes it so simple, plug it in, charge, you're gone in less than 30 minutes. That's what really kept them as the industry leader. It wasn't miraculous leadership, it wasn't innovation, because their innovations really stopped. I mean, the last thing that came out that was truly innovative was the Cybertruck, which is just laying goose eggs at the moment as far as the market goes. So it makes all the sense in the world that Tesla is still considered the benchmark, because they were, but they really haven't done anything to raise the bar. Whereas Rivian has, and even Lucid, which is always still shocking to me that Lucid's not doing as well as it is, but it's that price point and the fact they're not able to to build on that grand scale yet. But even companies like Dana's Mach-E or Ford Mustang Mach-E, I've been thoroughly impressed with it so far. And the hatred we got on that one was pretty funny too. It's not a real Mustang. It's called a Mustang. Let's just all move on. But all the cars that come out there electric now, even my hybrid BMW, every time I charge it, I get about 15 miles to the charge in addition to what I get with my engine. My round trip every day is about 20 miles, so it's like I'm driving like 4 miles every day. It's been fantastic. I just filled up recently, and it cost me about $35 to fill my tank, and that was with premium octane, all that good stuff. And I had already put 480 miles in the car, and I still had like 300 left because of the hybrid charging. So I decided, okay, Tesla's no longer the standard. I really like this Rivian. I'm not going to lose money because I have all this equity in it. And then this is where the politics portion came into play. I was a Tesla fanboy. I love space. I love space theory, travel, physics, the whole nine. I've always been a space junkie. So when we pivoted from Tesla to SpaceX, I mean, this is everything that I loved in my youth and even today as a 40-year-old adult. But things have just gotten wild. As soon as Elon decided to step into the forefront in politics, we all saw there's no denying it. The market crashed for Tesla. The stocks plummeted, the evaluations plummeted. I am so fortunate that when I started at kind of just pricing out cars and going around and getting quotes for what my car would be worth trade-in, because we were thinking about, looking on to see for Dana, I decided to get my car appraised as well. My trade-in value literally went from 32,000 down to 25, and then lastly I was getting people telling me it was worth 20. And at this point, I just don't necessarily see Tesla recovering in that span of time when I go to do my trade-in. And the fact that we're actually introducing enough cars into the market that they weren't as in demand. You can go out and get one right now if you wanted. Both times I bought our Model 3 and our Model Y, they weren't readily available. A lot of people were on a wait list. I happened to luck out to get them when we did. So I decided to take advantage of a trade-in offer I had that was locked in that literally took care of what I owed on the car. Doing my research, the BMW that I picked up has been consistently holding its value. So even if I were to trade it in a year, the amount that I would have had in equity in the Tesla equivalent-wise, percentage-wise, should remain the same, if not a little bit higher than what I was going to have with the Tesla with its current downward trends. To me, it just made sense. Just from a car guy point of view, I'm not necessarily a car guy, but you know what I mean. I have always wanted to own a luxury car like a BMW, and the luxuries that I have gotten with this car as far as amenities, because of Tesla's minimalist style, I was like, oh, I forgot that I like this. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh yeah, this is nice to have. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely a lot of amenities with the Tesla that I definitely miss, and I wish we had available in the BMW, but it goes both ways. Let me put it this way. I've made the comment before in the past on this channel, and I'm going to stand by it, that I just never could, I don't think I can just go back to a ICE car at this point. And I haven't, because this is a hybrid. I specifically looked out for electric or electric plug-in hybrid, and this one just kept popping up because it met all my standards with all the research I was doing. So do I regret the decision? No, I don't, because the reality is I feel like I haven't skipped a beat. As a matter of fact, the stupidest thing I could say right now, the biggest change for me that I've had to get used to was remembering my car keys. I love that part of the Tesla where it's just my phone with me, or even having the key card if I need it. I did not miss carrying around my clunky keys. But if that's the only downside to me so far, that is it. Because I really haven't skipped a beat having this car. In fact, I've had it now for about a month and a half. And I've already put it to almost 2,000 miles in the car since I bought it. So I did a lot of rigorous driving, testing. I've been to Phoenix and back a couple times just to make sure the car is what I wanted it to be. So I've actually had to fill up now twice. And the first time was at just above a half a tank, and this time it was just below half a tank. And that was it. I've had to fill up twice, which, it always stinks paying to fill up your engine, especially if you're used to that electric car. But I also realized, oh man, I'm getting over 600 miles right now to a full tank with the way I've been driving. So I'm taking a trip from here to like Disneyland. I'm not stopping twice to charge. So we're going to get there about an hour earlier. And I know your argument, well, you're also paying this, you're also doing, yes, there's plenty of arguments both ways. And I am still very, very much an electric car enthusiast. Hence, we have the Mach-E. Because remember, Dana, when we first got the Tesla Model 3, was not about that lifestyle. Daughter of a mechanic, she wants the gears, the bolts, the moving, to fill the engine. She did not trust electric cars. Now, more so than me and my claims of never being able to go back, Dana has flat out said she can never own a gas car again because the efficiency behind it is inarguable. But the reality is, the reality is, they both have their place. And that's why I think a lot of people are misconstruing this. Those comments that we talked about, they were just bitter that, let's see, I drank the Kool-Aid. Giving up my car over politics is silly. A little part of me is wondering how many of those same people commenting on there pulled the Kid Rock and shot the Bud Lights, or refused to listen to Taylor Swift, and just the hypocrisy at its finest. If I am anything, I am thought out. I don't make my decisions based on pure emotion. In fact, I had long chose to move on from the Teslas before any of the political stuff came into play, because my background is in finance and looking at the market and the trends based off of what has happened and what I thought was going to happen. It just made all the sense in the world to do it. And it turned out, dun, da, 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 was right. And I'm glad I did it when I did, because I have zero regrets. It is what it is. So here's my pros and cons so far with the BMW. The pros are, it's really fun to drive, it's luxurious. I can pick whether it's just straight electric battery, or it's just engine, or if it's a combination of both. And so far, I've always done the combination of both because it's given me the most range out of the car. Charlie loves it. My youngest 5-year-old is obsessed. He's my little gearhead. Every time we get ready to go somewhere, what car do we want to take? I want to take the BMW. Now, I do feel it's a little bougie. This is by far the nicest luxury car I've ever had. I'm a Hyundai guy through and through. That's what I had most of my life. But here we are, and I have zero regrets on the car itself. But I do have cons. One, God, I did not miss pumping gas. Like, I hate getting out of the car, pumping the gas, especially with no infotainment. I have to sit there on my phone or, talk to the people in the car with me. I mean, who wants to do that these days? And the other con is I had to get my mother's oil change in her car recently. It hit me. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do maintenance again. I don't want to do oil changes. I don't want to do brakes. All right. Well, that's part of the ownership. You buy an animal, you have a pet, you have to be prepared for whatever it takes. You buy a car, you got to be prepared to do what it takes. Well, those are the cons. The pros are, I can just fill it up and go 600 miles. I do miss the feel of an engine purring, but just because I like it and I enjoy it again, doesn't mean it's something I should be doing all the time. In other words, I love pizza. You guys watch our pizza reviews on this channel, and if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to follow all those. But I can't eat pizza every day. So I'm definitely an electric car guy. And I love driving my electric car. And I love driving this gas car. But I also know that I can do one majority of the time. I'm going to stop there. That was a bad analogy. Didn't know sure I was going with it. The fact is, I don't regret our choice. And I do find the comments that we got fairly amusing. And I'm being legitimate when I say that. I was cracking up. I was even like, let's see what people have said now. And I haven't responded to any of them yet, just because, well, didn't want them to stop. But it doesn't mean it didn't kind of still hurt our feelings, because you can tell their comments are coming from a place of not only ignorance, misinformation, and they're the ones being overly political. I just highlighted the fact in that we made those choices based off of Elon, because it was kind of the final straw that broke the camel's back. Because we had already been looking into it, we'd already done it with Dana's car, and I was already looking at doing it with my car. It's just in good conscience, because I love this country so much and what it can be and what it once was. I can't continue having the car when I was already getting rid of it, but that was just the final straw, because he was now representing everything that is wrong with politics and in our country. It's the finger pointing, it's the blame. I am not left-wing. I am not right-wing. I'm Tommy. And my opinions and stances are based on the evidence before me and the way it has directly affected me, my family, and those who mean the world to me around me. Take that as you will. I'm very fiscally conservative, but I'm also very socially liberal, as our Constitution wants and dictates. Because people are quick to talk about freedom of speech, about all the stuff that protects them in our country, until it's something they don't agree with. And that's what bothers me. Thanks for watching. This ends Tommy's soapbox on politics and electric cars and gas cars. Free Comic Book Day is coming up. Super excited about that. Spoilers, didn't make it to Free Comic Book Day. In fact, after this part of the video, I spent the rest of the day in the emergency room in the hospital. Well, not me, but I'll explain later. Another video. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try and get out, but I don't know if I can. But right now, I'm going to give my wife a kiss goodbye because she's heading to work. And Charlie and I got to go do errands. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.